Welcome back to Mom Does Stuff. We have a new sewing machine, so I'm going to help you try to help you get started on this one. This is the Brother CS5055 computerized machine. It's pretty cool. So let's just get started. Let's load a bobbin first. This is the bobbin that came in your machine, and it is a class 15 bobbin. There are several different sizes. There's not a lot of them, but there's several different ones. So you do need to get a bobbin that fits your machine. There should have been, some extra ones, but you want the class 15. You can pretty much pick them up anywhere, but you're looking for the class 15. I think the part number on it is like SA 156. Yeah, SA 156 if you're looking for those. So before we can get a bobbin done, we need some thread. And I want to stop and talk about thread for just a second. Thread is very important. You don't think it is, but a lot of my problems stopped when I started using a good thread. Now, there's two different winds to a thread. There is something called cross-wound and something called stacked thread. Now, this is a stacked thread, and you can see that it is wound straight, just straight across. It just goes round and round. It is stacked on top of each other. This is what they call a cross-wound thread, and you can see how it goes back and forth. It kind of makes a little V there. Kind of got a little V shape to the wind. This is a cross wound. The thread that I love is cross wound. Now, the Brother machines, for some reason, they all come with a vertical spool pin. This is designed for stacked threads. There's something. I'm not a technician or whatever. There's something about the way the thread is wound when it is on this spool that it needs to come off straight like this. Whereas these types of thread need to come off the spool like this. They need to pull off. So you need a horizontal spool pin. Well, the Brother doesn't come with that. But what I have done is I have taken to using this little gadget. Is called a spool holder. And you can set it down behind your machine with the cross-wound thread on it, and it pulls the thread up and lets it untwist like it's supposed to. So I'll put a link down in the description of one of these. They're not very expensive, and it lets you use whatever thread you want to. Now, if you are a new sewer and you're not getting the results that you like, I encourage you to try some different kinds of thread. It really makes a lot of difference. You wouldn't think it does, but it does. The kind that I love the best is Aurifil, and I usually use a 50 weight or a 40 weight. The higher the number, the thinner the thread, so somewhere in that range. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's look and see if we can get a bobbin wound. I am assuming that you have gotten your machine plugged in with the white foot pedal cord and the black electric cord, and then here is our on-off switch. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Okay, we're in a little bit better position first. Now, take your thread, and if you have the thread on the spool pin here, you're gonna thread it the exact same way. I'm just coming off behind it with the little spool holder. The first thing you're going to do is, and it shows you the track right here, you're going to come over here to this beige track, and you're going to slip it right in behind there into that groove, and you want to hold it, you want to hold your thread like right here and pull it to make sure it gets down in that guide right. Then you're going to come under this little round screw, come under, and then come back over the top and snug it down in there as well. Okay, now you see the little cross pattern that it makes, and we're fixing to come over here. You can thread it at any time you like to. I usually like to do it before I put the spool, before I put the bobbin on there. There's a little tiny hole. You want to take your thread in between and come up under and then out through the top of the hole, okay? And then you can snap it onto this and tighten up your thread, okay? Now we're gonna slide this over this direction. This is what I did. Over towards this teardrop shaped thing. And now you can turn your machine on and get ready. I hold my thread up for a few loops until it gets anchored on there, and make sure it's down on there good. Let's give it some gas. Now you don't want to pull up with this, you're just holding the thread out of the way. And then once it makes a few rounds, you can cut it off, or sometimes I just hold the spool down and pull it. Now we're ready to go. Okay, you do not have to fill the bobbin all the way up like I did. Once you fill it all the way up, it's going to stop turning. So when it stops turning, that means there's enough bobbin on there, enough thread on the bobbin. You don't have to fill it all the way up. You can stop whenever you want to. If you're just, you know, doing a little patch job or something, you may not want to waste a whole bobbin full of thread. And then push it back away, pull it off, and then we're going to get some scissors and clip our thread right here. Okay, now just snip it off and your bobbin is ready to go. Now let's see if we can get this into the machine. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove this bobbin plate. Let me see if I can get just a little bit closer. Okay, a little bit better position here. The first thing we're going to do is remove this plate. And you're just, there's some grips right there. You're just going to slide it back and it pops right off. Now we're ready to put the bobbin in. You want your bobbin, you want the thread to be coming off the side of it like this, okay? Coming across the top and down the left side. And you're just going to drop it right in the little hole there. It just drops right in. Now, right here in the front, there's a little catch, a little notch that you're going to slide the thread behind. So you're going to pull it over here, and then it will go under that little metal notch. Then you're going to come up and follow this track, come around, and then you can pull it to the right. There's a little blade in there. You have to give it a little quick tug, and that snaps your thread, okay? Then you are ready to pop your plate right back in place, okay? And your bobbin is threaded, okay? Okay, bobbin is threaded and we are ready to move on to the top thread of the machine. That's in a separate video, and I will have a link down to that in the description box below. And hit the subscribe button if you liked what you saw. Thanks. Bye.